This is really fascinating because, of course, we know that the fundamental basis of the US imperial order since the end of the Second World War has been, on the one hand, petroleum, and on the other hand, the US dollar. The globe's production and finance worlds are dependent on the petroleum that the US has guaranteed the flow of since the end of the Second World War, and which, until the nationalization of oil in the 1970s and 80s, basically controlled something like 60% of the world's oil reserves. After nationalization, that percentage dropped dramatically, but the US dollar continues to be, and the financial channels that the US has crafted continue to be a very significant bolster for the empire. So the fact that Iran is actually looking for alternatives to the dollar in order to challenge the petrodollar regime, which is, as I said, one of the fundaments of the US empire, is a really interesting and quite clever indication of how the Iranians are hoping to influence the crafting of a world post this war, or a new world order post this war, where there is a multipolar financial system where, for example, the dollar is no longer a single currency that rules the world, and the US is the only channel that or the only power that controls financial channels, because of course the US has used this inordinate power to strong arm various states, to institute sanctions, to make it difficult for its enemies, for example, to purchase oil, and of course it has used it to coerce a lot of countries, as we see, for example, in the case of Cuba or Iran, or indeed Russia, to do its bidding. So the fact that Iran is calling for petro-yuans to become an alternative to petrodollars is actually quite significant also in indicating that the Iranians are well aware of how extensively the US has used its coercive sanction capabilities through its control of the financial channels and through its mastery of the petrodollar, and are trying to erode that power.